Hello and welcome to the Keynote Curators LinkedIn Live. I'm Seth Deckman. I'm your host. I'm the president of the Keynote Curators. And during our LinkedIn Lives, which happened sometime between noon and 1 p.m. Eastern, we talk about all things to do with speakers, the curation of speakers, and really provide as much great information that we can for meeting professionals, meeting planners, meeting producers, meeting marketers, all sorts, anybody who's related to the conference production world. Today, I want to talk about the office, the mall, and the theater, or in today's terms, Zoom, Amazon, and Netflix. And what does that have to do with meetings? Well, in a post-pandemic world, or what we've heard the term called the new normal, the next normal, I like to think there is no normal. Things have shifted. The workforce has become hybrid, which is a blend of working from home or virtually, and going into headquarters or going into your office location. And that's no different for meetings. Meetings went fully virtual, and quickly meeting professionals and meeting planners adapted to producing great events, whether it was the execution of the lighting, the audio, the background, moving from keynote presentations more into moderated, interactive type of presentations, which lends itself to having a better, more optimal experience of attending a keynote speech virtually. And then slowly into the hybrid, where a speech would be presented live, perhaps to a limited live audience that would also be accessible via live streaming or other platforms or other types of technologies where people can securely access the keynote presentations. But as we pull out of the post-pandemic, post-COVID period, the sands keep shifting and the winds are changing. So we have to stay with the metaphor, if the winds are changing, trim our sails a little bit. And at the same time, take into account what are some of the legacy ideas or the remnants of how we adapted during the pandemic. And I began to think a little bit about what has become commonplace for us in the workforce is living in Zoom. And while it gives a lot of flexibility, a lot of agility, and people can work from anywhere in the world, there's also what I've learned to call a Zoom ceiling. And the Zoom ceiling is that limitation, that lid, if you will, like a ceiling, where you can only expand so much. And while all of us have different levels of aspirations and different goals and different objectives, whether it's in your career or in your personal life, doing anything virtually by its nature has some limitation. And that's no different in the workforce, in the workplace, in the office. So the office during pandemic became Zoom. It could have been WebEx, it could have been a myriad of other platforms, but Zoom has become kind of the vernacular of the end all be all of at least in the vernacular, colloquial vernacular of the virtual office. The other side of the coin is, as we rebound and get back to being in person in the office, we realize that those water cooler conversations, the interaction, the electricity that happens when you have a tactile one-on-one or group encounter, whether it's a planned meeting or a spontaneous interaction where you can throw ideas off of each other, or even kind of decompress and shoot the breeze about today's topics, whether it's Argentina won the World Cup or this happened in the Super Bowl, those type of things deepen and provide more depth and texture to your interactions, which do have a positive, lasting impact on your work. And the same thing happens in other realms where the value during the pandemic of being able to do things virtually had a really high premium, like Zoom, and then it shifts in a post-pandemic area and you're shopping. Amazon became the mall. Amazon became your local boutique. Amazon became the corner store on the street. And while you can read reviews and return products, I mean, the supply chain is a separate issue. It was really useful because you could acquire what you needed or what you wanted, which are two different things, needs and wants. And it became the location to shop. But again, the other side of the coin is there's the feedback from the salesperson in the mall or in the store or in the corner shop in your neighborhood. There's the items that just came in that maybe haven't yet hit the inventory or haven't yet been on display, or something that might be arriving shortly and you can get some inside information on it. And while the reviews are important, there's nothing like trying something on in person. So that's what I call, that's the Amazon ceiling, right? Where you can't break through and have that one-on-one experience. Believe me, on the day-to-day, the quotidian type of activities of shopping, it becomes saving time and everything. But when you have items like office interactions and like conferences, it's better to do it in person. There's just a different aspect to it. And then there's the entertainment realm. I could talk about a lot of domains and a lot of realms of the pandemic and the post-pandemic period. But we have Zoom as the office, we have Amazon as the mall, and now the theater or your entertainment became Netflix, whether it's TV shows, documentaries, movies, docu-series, biopics, biographies, all sorts of entertainment at your fingertips. So instead of going out to the theater, the smell of popcorn, or seeing how the rest of the audience reacts, or the experience of being in a beautiful chair with the surround sound and the big screen, Netflix, your iPhone, your tablet, your screen on your desktop, your laptop, those became the theater experience in the comfort of your own home, in your bed, on your couch, sitting on your floor, watching with your children. The convenience is really remarkable. But again, what's the trade-off? Going out, having the experience, maybe getting dressed up, maybe having a coffee or an ice cream or a drink or a meal before or after the event. So it's happening in the speaking and the conference and the meeting world as well, where we were forced into these Zoom, WebEx platforms, virtual experiences, and we were able to be agile and adapt and adjust to the presentations that delivered the best value for the attendees. And now there's that kind of that boomerang, that bounce back. And what I'm seeing is that clients who produce and put on events for their customers, for their employees, for their best performers, for their vendors, for the people that they want to connect with, there's a changing landscape as well. There's still the keynotes. There's still the reception, the cocktail reception. There's still perhaps excursions or dine-arounds. But what's going on with the keynote speaker? Often, it's been shortened from 45 to 60 minutes. Now it's 30 to 45 minutes. Often, I'm seeing more Q&A or a blend of prepared remarks and then some question and answers or moderated portion of it. We're also seeing a lot more speakers being requested and providing both ways of a pre-event short video or an email connecting the speaker with the audience prior to their presentation. Now, this isn't unique to the post-pandemic boomerang, but you're seeing more and more of it. These changes are the product of the post-pandemic world. So you have the pandemic world where office is Zoom, where you have Amazon is the mall, the theater, your entertainment is Netflix. And now in the meeting space, in the conference space, in the event space, you're seeing hybrid events where there's in-person and virtual aspects to it. And you're seeing that the keynotes are being adapted in many different ways. People want more time on site to connect, less structured time. So the keynote speaker has more value because if they're occupying a shorter agenda, if you will, a shorter agenda meaning less structured time together, and in that less time, it's being taken up by the keynote, the stakes are higher. So you really have to continue to partner up with your keynote provider, your keynote curator, and make sure that you're hitting the mark, the message is on point, things are aligned, and people are delivering and providing that type of content that's going to make a difference and forward your organization's milestones, what they want to accomplish, your business initiatives, because that is the value of the keynote speaker in the post-pandemic age. So I wanted to leave you with those thoughts today. You're going to be able to find us online. You can chime in via direct message. You can email us, give us a call. We're at thekeynotecurators.com. We appreciate you being here. We hope you're smarter for it. And keep an eye out for us next Wednesday when we come back online. Thank you and have a great rest of the day.